These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others.
It saved my life. It saved my life.
Across Canada.
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
In our community.
I'm Tamara Kurlu-Kalawadik. We're so tight-knit here in Saskatchewan with snowmobiling. It's just something you come together. You just see someone on the trail and you know them whether you don't or not. Once one person starts being involved in such an amazing organization, others will take to it. And Snowarama and the ride, you know so many people in it that you want to do it and you want to experience it.
I'm Danny Waslanchuk. So today we did our Snowarama, our annual ride. So we set out a designated course for our ride today, and we started from Schrader Motors, and we've gone out here to our first warm-up shelter, Lakanuki, and then we're going to proceed to our second destination, where we will kind of finish up the longest point of our ride and then head all back to Schrader Motors to complete the ride.
I'm Dina Jessmer, Community Relations Coordinator for SaskAbilities in Yorkton. Instead of having Snowarama for a one-day snowmobile rally, which it has been for the last 43 years, the 44th was stretched over 12 days, so riders could pick the day that worked best for them.
Barry Bradshaw, I'm the chair of Snowarama. We have stopped along the way and just kind of had a very enjoyable day. It's got nice and warm out finally, and we just doing it to support for Snowarama and to keep it going year after year.
It couldn't have been more perfect weather, the warm sun hitting your face and everything, but it was a good ride with some people that really have supported the organization for so many years. These trails I originally rode when I was first learning, and it's kind of etched into my heart at this point. Like, I know these better than my back roads around home.
My name is Ken Prott, and I have participated in Snowarama since the mid-1980s. And this is kind of the highlight of the winter for us. These are must-do things when you snowmobile in this part of the country. They had Snowaramas and any other centers when this idea kicked off. They've all fallen by the wayside, and the only one that's maintained its vitality is the Yorkton one. Quite a story.
So Snowarama is an annual fundraising event that the Yorkton branch of SaskAbilities has hosted for 44 years now. It's a one-day snowmobile rally that raises funds for Easter Seal Saskatchewan programs. Snowarama includes a one-day snowmobile rally, as well as a wing night, awards banquet and program, and an auction. We have amazing support from the Snowmobile Club here, both as a corporate sponsor as well as riders. So many of their members and all their family members ride in this event year after year, and it's just incredible to see generations of fathers and kids and mothers and kids that participate year after year and come out and really enjoy themselves.
My name is Jason Popowich. Snowarama, I've been involved through the club and also as a participant for over 40 years. I started out when I was just a little guy, and when I got married, we had 2 girls, and of course I introduced them to snowmobiling, and they were so happy and pleased to participate in Snowarama. I welcomed them on, and the rest is history.
I'm Kaylee Popowich. I have been riding since I was 7 and I'm 20 now, so this will be my 13th Snowarama. My dad has actually been in Snowarama since he was little. He started when he was 7 and he was doing a CTV News interview on it. When I asked my dad, I was like, hey, I'm 7, why can't I do this? He was like, well, I guess you can.
So I started snowmobiling about 11 years ago, and 10 years ago I started with Snowarama. My dad started out long before I did, and I can't even recall when he did, but I always looked up to him and it was something he did, so it got me into the sport and got me into doing it, and I just I don't see why I wouldn't do it for the rest of my life.
I'm John Danesic, the Regional Director of the Yorkton branch of SaskAbilities. There's 5 key ingredients that we need in order to have a successful event. First, you need the riders, the individual snowmobilers that are going to go out there and collect pledges. And then it's the individual pledgers, the people in the community that are being asked to support the riders. And then we have the corporate sponsors, and this is an area that continues to grow for us. Corporate sponsors are giving us cash donations or product donations, so the costs of the event continue to come down, which just ensures that more money is going to people experiencing disability. The media plays a huge role in helping to get our message out, how the event is running, how the money will be used, and those types of things, keeping the public informed.
Register today for the 2021 Easter Seal Snowarama and ride the trails anywhere in Saskatchewan between February 15th and 27th.
We also have an amazing amount of people that donate to the cause every year. Even if they're unable to ride themselves, they still make that pledge to support a rider. Snowarama is really a culture in Yorkton, and it's an incredible amount of people that jump on board, support every year.
SaskAbilities holds the Easter Seals franchise rights in Saskatchewan. Easter Seals is a national organization, and we're fortunate to hold those rights in Saskatchewan. And in 1977, Whipper Billy Watson, a professional Canadian wrestler, was familiar with Easter Seals through his work in Ontario. So he traveled across Canada in the winter of 1977, talking to all the snowmobile clubs about possibly banding together to create a fundraiser for Easter Seals.
He came out to Yorkton, met with our club, and told us about Snowarama, so we decided to give it a try. We rode in the ditch to Roblin, Manitoba and back, one side of the ditch one way and the other side on the way back. And we raised around $7,000. That's kind of how it started, and the club got involved, our snowmobile club, and it's been going ever since.
Snowarama for Easter Seals was offered in Saskatoon, Regina, and Yorkton. That continued for a number of years. In the mid-90s, it was Yorkton that was just left having the Snowarama, and it continues to grow and evolve.
I thought it was for a good cause, and so I helped out. I helped with the trail the first year. Just kept going every year since, and we just kept it going and raising money, and more every year, and more riders, and just a bigger event. And we always try to ride about 150 kilometers every year. This year we have everybody just go on their own. So we spread it over a 15-day period for people to go out and do their own thing, ride wherever they wanted to, and raise money.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community. SaskAbilities is a provincial organization that has helped run Snowarama since the very beginning.
SaskAbilities is a provincial nonprofit organization. We have branches in Regina, Saskatoon, Swift Current, and of course here in Yorkton. We started in the 1950s and have grown to an organization today. We serve about 60,000 people, and we do that with a team of 450 staff. It's all about building inclusive communities for people of all abilities, and where we specialize is providing a range of programs and services to people experiencing disability.
SaskAbilities participant Bailey Clark has attended several Snowaramas, and in 2012 she was named Snowarama's ambassador.
I'm Bailey Jenny Clark, and I go to SaskAbilities branch in Yorkton.
And I'm Bailey's mom, Jamie. I've never seen an organization pull together so well. They try so hard with every participant. So us living on a farm, it's a pretty big treat to come into the big city of Yorkton and go to the drive-thrus or go to the mall or tour Walmart. So they made outings happen for the participants. Pretty fortunate that we live on a farm, so summer we can really stay pretty busy. But we always factored in Camp Easter Seal.
Camp Easter Seal, a totally wheelchair accessible resort that operates during the months of June, July, and August, and probably serves in non-pandemic years about 700 to 800 campers. I wish everybody would have the opportunity to tour camp during the operational months, and I don't know how else to describe it other than magic.
Raylene Carter has been attending Camp Easter Seals for over 15 years.
My first time I went to Camp Easter Seals was in 2006. It's a week, it's like 5-day camp. I like doing my arts and crafts, I like horseback riding, meeting people like friends, because we stayed in cabins.
Bailey has been attending Camp Easter Seals since she's been 8 years old. She is now 23. So we have utilized that amazing facility for a lot of years. And we would have attended last year if it weren't for COVID. Miss Bailey, what are some of your favorite things to do at Camp Easter Seal?
Make new friends. Go on the wagon. Go on the bus into town.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Camp Easter Seals had to halt its in-person camp for the summer of 2020 and for 2021.
It's unfortunate that during the pandemic, this will be the second year where there will not be in-person camping in 2021, but we've expanded our virtual programming. There's going to be more and better virtual programming that's occurring, and that has cost to it, as well as technological cost to ensure that the quality is there.
So every year, Easter Seal Snowarama has definitely many touch points where we meet with the riders and many opportunities to socialize. And those were the pieces of the 2021 event that we drastically had to make changes to. The ride itself, where riders were able to go out and about on the trails, was still safe and permitted as long as those public health regulations were being followed. But all of our pieces where we'd get together and socialize and celebrate, those had to be changed. We were grateful for technology and social media when we weren't able to connect in person.
Hello and welcome to the 44th Annual Easter Seals Snowarama Awards Program. I want to start by thanking you all so much for your support this year. The event couldn't have happened without you.
Pre-COVID, the event was very much running into like family members on the trail or your friends, just people you've related and you have a shared experience, you kind of know them. And post-COVID, some things have changed, but you still see others on the trail. You can't really do as much interaction, obviously, but you're still getting that same feeling that you had before.
I don't get to sled much anymore other than this season because COVID. I would normally be in Saskatchewan, and so Snowarama was like the one time a year I would get to go out and ride and enjoy, spend time with my dad and my sister and hang out with some friends as well. So it's always just a really special time of year.
And then we have a group of volunteers that they come out every year, and this year was very different just because we didn't have all those touch points where we could meet with riders and communicate with everybody, and we had to keep our distance. But a typical year of Snowarama, it's a community effort, absolutely.
So the Yorkton Snow Riders is a club that comprises roughly 87 families. The club has always been a strong supporter of the fundraising event, and we've always supported them. We've help them prepare the trails, groom the trails, mark the trails, so that they can actually put the fundraising event on and make it enjoyable for everybody that comes to help support it.
I volunteered at Snowarama. We needed some activities for the kids to do. I worked kids' games. I was happy to be able to help them.
Hope that we can put the fact out there that we're doing it this year and we want to try and keep it going year after year for, hope it's another 40 years or more. It just keeps going on and on.
I was so impressed with the Snowarama committee and the innovative and flexible ways they came up so we could still offer an event. And there were some positive outcomes. Snowarama was offered provincially this year. You didn't have to ride in Yorkton to participate in Snowarama. We had increased communication because of emails and social media posts. We couldn't be in person, but we were using the social media to stay connected to all of our key stakeholders. The online auction is probably going to be a feature that's here to stay, and it just opens it up to more people. If we can offer it, we will be back bigger and stronger in the years to come.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
From all of us here at SaskAbilities and Easter Seals, thank you so much for your support. All the best, and we sure hope we can see you in person next year.
We were really pleased with the amount of money that the 2021 Snowarama raised. We had over 150 riders register during that 12-day period and head out on the trails. And many corporate sponsors jumped on board as they have for many years.
Same kind of people year after year, and we get some younger people now. As you can see today, there's the young people out here. Some of them have collected between, around $2,000 each year. Get good support for everything, even though our population isn't that big. That's the way the people are here. They're down to earth and want to look after one another.
Last year, I think I hit $30,000 total raised. I don't know what this number is going to be yet. I still have a little bit of fundraising to do, but yeah, hitting that $30,000 was really special for me last year.
When I first started, it was tough to get, $50 or $75 or $100, but when my beautiful daughters, whether they were so cute when they were 8 years old or I don't know, but the pledges, instead of a $10 or a $20 pledge for myself as an adult, once I introduced them to snowmobiling and collected pledges on behalf of our kids, the pledges turned into $100, $500, $1,000 because they were so overjoyed how the whole family could get involved in such a worthwhile fundraiser.
For some of the Snowarama participants, visiting Camp Easter Seal solidified their desire to raise money.
I had the opportunity to visit Camp Easter Seals a few years ago, and I just saw how much of an impact my fundraising was truly making, and the smiles on those kids' faces are absolutely priceless. So that is what motivates me to keep going.
Being so connected with the charity and the organization Camp Easter Seal, and it has a really great impact on the province. I know so many people in it, and it's such a great organization with community involvement and driving a change towards a great goal. I got to visit Camp Easter Seal back in 2013 or 14, and you really get to see the impact that your donations and your fundraising efforts go towards changing a child's life or someone who attends Camp Easter Seal. And I think that's something so special because I was born with lots of privileges that I realized other individuals were not, and Camp Easter Seal gives them an opportunity to really explore and express their interests.
Again, if you can get to camp and see it in operation, that just makes a very strong emotional connection. I know the first year we did that for the committee, there wasn't a dry eye on the bus ride home as people reflected on what they saw and the smiles and the contentment of both the campers and the staff. It truly is a magical place.
I put extra effort into it this year because of COVID. I was worried that people were going to have trouble raising money, so I asked people to sort of dig in a little deeper, and it came across just overwhelming this year because of that. So we were still able to provide to the SaskAbilities Council $115,322.10, which I think was pretty incredible given COVID and the restrictions that we had to deal with.
Just been a wonderful event. It's been going on for 44 years now, and hopefully it carries on well into the future and we can keep supporting it and, you know, keep affording those opportunities for those kids.
Camp Easter Seal also has to change their programming, of course, in 2021 again. So being able to have some funds to make those drastic changes is really important this year. And I think that's why so many people still rallied to support Snowarama, knowing that the cause is still there and will continue to be there, because even when the pandemic is over, Camp Easter Seal, of course, will still be there and campers will still be excited and looking forward to and benefiting from the services that are provided there.
We've collected usually around 150,000 every year. So we're up over 2.5 million we've collected, you know, in 44 years. And we want to thank the people that do that, and probably thank the sponsors that look after it, you know, over the years that sponsored things. And we just want to keep it going, and just want to thank everybody for the work they do.
The fact that we're still able to go ride and to make this day just as special as it was 13 years ago is just incredible.
Every year it just impresses me. We're attracting new riders. Longtime riders are striving to raise more money. Last year I sent 1 kid to camp. This year I want to send 2 kids to camp. So they're increasing their personal fundraising goals. So it's very humbling to be associated with this type of event.
When people need help, you step up and help. And that's what Snowarama is all about. There's just a real, genuine, caring attitude amongst the majority of the population in this province for anybody that's in need.
And for support, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey Bailey, what do you say to all the volunteers that help out at Snowarama?
I just wanna give all of them a great big hug.
Producer Adrian Halter, Director Adrian Halter, Director of Photography Adrian Halter, Camera Operators Adrian Halter, Joel Tabak, Rigel Smith, Location Audio Rigel Smith, Drone Operators Adam Burwell, Brian Burwell, Editor Joel Tabak, Sound Mix Justin Peterson, Original Music Steve Lytle, Narrator Jim Van Horn, Integrated Described Video Specialist Ron Rickford, Graphics Andrew Antonello, Content Development Specialist Jim Crisco, Coordinating Producer Jennifer Johnson, Director Production Kara Nye, Director Programming Brian Perdue, VP Content Development and Programming John Melville, President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2021 Accessible Media Inc.
Stream episodes of our community at ami.ca or on the AMI TV app.